they can take a picture of it or a video, and they can turn that in to the proper authorities. They're turning kids in your house into little spies. Okay? Spy kids. That's what they're turning your kids into spies. And so with all the Child Protective Services regulations and guidelines and stipulations concerning what they think is appropriate and what they think is not appropriate. I remember years ago in the state of Missouri, we have a program called Parents as Teachers. The Parents as Teachers program was basically about, hey, we're government agents. Can we come in your house? And there were certain guidelines that parents as teachers were supposed to look at inside of a home to see if maybe that child was at risk. One of them was that if the parent was overweight and they were a smoker, that child's at risk. We really need to, the government really needs to get involved in this situation. And so now these kids, and get this, any kid that doesn't like anything in their house, click. Send it in. The proper authorities get involved. Jesus warned us that in the last days people would be disobedient to their parents and that children would turn against their own parents. New World Order, people. Now your own kids are going to turn you in. Here's another one called the safety tat. Okay, the tat that brings kids back, and apparently this is a little tattoo. I think it's a removable tattoo. When you go to the amusement park or to the mall or something like that, put the tat on the tot, and it's on their close to their hand here, and it's an identification mark, and it's got your cell phone number on it. So if the child gets lost, they can call mommy. Okay. What sounds like a good idea. It's just, and we covered this here a few weeks ago in the Watchman broadcast concerning the environment that we live in now, where everything has to be marked and identified. That is coming right to us right out of Bible prophecy, where everything has to be marked and identified. Here's a story concerning that. Here's another school that's going to start tracking kids with RFID technology. Tracking devices used in school badges. 2 districts are first in the area to use ID tags that raise privacy, safety concerns. Radio frequency identification, the same technology used to monitor cattle, is tracking students in the Spring and Santa Fe school districts. ID badges for some students in both school districts now include tracking devices that allow campus administrators to keep tabs on students' whereabouts on campus. School leaders say the devices improve security and increase attendance rates. You see, these things they're good for us. I mean, they're for us. They are in our best interest to have everybody, all of the little sheeple in the little public schools, to be tracked and monitored everywhere. That we're doing this for you. Don't you understand? I mean, this sounds like Barack Obama and Joe Biden in this country telling everybody, you guys, you just don't get what we're trying to do. I mean, if you got it, you would go along with socialism. If you just really understood that we're trying to help you, you would all be Marxists like we are. That's what they're getting across here. This is for your benefit, to mark and identify and tag your child every place that they go. And oh, by the way, we'll give them a tattoo, and they got their little cell phone taking pictures of what's going on in your house, and they can turn that into the proper authorities. Things are changing, folks. Things are changing right in front of our very eyes, and I think that we really need to be aware. We need to be aware, conscious of what's going on. I talked about the pineal gland last week. They that sleep in the night, and they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunk are drunk in the night. And the situation is arising right now in our world where people are being lulled, and churches and pastors are being lulled into a sleep that, sad to say, more than likely they're not going to wake out of. I did a radio interview with a fellow by the name of Derek Gilbert on Hearken the Watchman website. A friend of mine, Chad Miles, runs that. And so anyway, he said, I'm amazed that we have a pastor out there that knows what the singularity is. And it wasn't hard for me to find it out. It wasn't hard for me to figure it out. I'm not some super genius brain that monitors everything in the world. And I mean, it's just when you start reading the Bible and start looking at what's going on, it's not hard to figure out what's happening around us. The problem is our pastors, our church people, our deacons, our law officials, our congressmen, we're just asleep. We don't know what's going on. We're just asleep. And just lay down and go to sleep, and everything will be okay. And then I'm telling you, it's not okay. Let's go back in time. August 2000, back in the August 2010, a couple months ago. Was listening to the news, and they were talking about a mine collapse in Chile. Okay, mine collapse. I don't mean to sound that cruel. It's just that, stuff happens all over the world all the time. We can't always be so concerned about it. But anyway, a mine collapse. And then, a while later, they said, there's hope now for the 33 trapped miners in a deep underground pit in Chile. Or Chile, I'll say it right. And I was thinking, could it be? Could it be? So I sent a text message to my friend Chad Miles in Detroit. Runs Hearken the Watchman website. You ought to go there. It's a good website. Anyway, and I said, Chad, I think we need to watch this 33 miners thing in the pit, because what was going through my mind was, here we have 33 down in a pit. Now I'm going to, if you don't know zip about anything that goes on of occult nature, I mean, that you're fine. Okay, ignorance is bliss. But it's okay to be aware of what is going on around us. And I'm like everybody else. I'm sitting there watching telly. And we're watching the miners come out of the pit. And my heart, as a human being, as a fellow man, I am rejoicing with these men and their families, because Christianity itself is all about saving people out of the pit of sin that they're in and bringing them to light. That's what we're about through the cross of Jesus Christ. That is what we are all about. Christ was 33. When He died, He descended to the lower parts of the earth. He set captivity free. He rose again on the third day. He's alive forevermore. And hallelujah, one of these days I'm going to be alive with Him. And I thank God for that. But I just knew that there was something else going on here. Those suspicions, as time went on, was confirmed in me, and we're going to share this. I have a book here, and I always keep a little stash of books here to the side of me. This is Albert Pike's Morals and Dogma, and on the front of this book we have a double-headed eagle, and it has a crown on it. It says Ordo ab Chao. You need to watch our Watchman broadcast called Chaos, or Order out of Chaos, and it'll explain what that means. The phrase order, in fact, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but on the front of this is a triangle with a number on it. And that number is the number 33. That is the exact number of miners that are trapped down in the pit. Now I'm going to kind of explain some of this as we go along here so that you can understand the symbolism of what was going on and why it was so significant. Another friend of mine from Nebraska saying, hey Hoggy, I was listening to the reporters and they were using phrases such as the ascent and as if rising from a tomb and rescued from darkness to light. They're using all of these phrases that are just ringing in the ears of people literally all over the world. I mean, billions of people all over